need that. So yesterday, something really awesome showed up. I got home a little bit late at night, so I didn't have an opportunity to open it, but I'm gonna go do an unboxing inside my house because it's Saturday, and, you know, I watch the kids on Saturday. Let's check this guy out. It's a guitar, bro. What did you think it was? What does it look like? Piano? Oh, Ziggy wants to check it out too. Can you cut it open? No, here, I'll let you cut the last strap. Right there on the bottom. Good job. Okay. Ooh! This came in a case. That is sweet. All right. And is that good? Can you see me and the guitar? Okay. Oh man, yeah, dude. Look at that. Does that one look good, Ziggy? Is that a good guitar? Look at that thing. Wicked. This does have Fishman Fluence Moderns in it. And then we have a Gotoh locking trem here. I've never played with one of these before, so I'm very interested to check this out. Push-pull, obviously, for the Fishmans. 5-way blade selector switch, and then everything else is pretty much what you would expect from Solar. I'm really stoked that the pickup selector is not up here and it's down here where it should be. That's kind of a plus. Very, very excited to plug this in and play it. Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name's Taylor if you're new here. Finally, as a pointy guitar enthusiast, I'm checking out a Solar X series guitar. Look at this f***ing thing, dude. Look at this. It is a murder weapon. We are plugged into the Synergy rig. I am on the Deliverance module right now, going into the Syn 5050, Mesa cabinet, you know the rest. We should probably read the specs. This is the new X 1.6 corner guitar. It is a signature guitar from 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏. Sorry if I am mispronouncing your name. I did look on the internet and I could not find someone pronouncing it, so I'm just winging it here. From legendary thrash metal band Coroner. Now, with it being a signature guitar, it does have some interesting specs. The body material is alder. It has a set-through maple neck with a C-shaped profile. It features a lot of the specifications you've come to know and love from Solar guitars, like the jumbo stainless steel frets, 24 of them to be exact. It has a scale length of 25.5 inches, lumen lace side dots, Solar 18:1 ratio locking tuners, and the fretboard is made out of ebony. Now, this is where the specs get a little bit interesting. We have Fishman Fluence Modern pickups, a volume knob with a push-pull for the voice change on the Fishman Fluence Moderns, a 5-way blade switch for different voicing options between the two pickups. We also have a Gotoh GE 1996T tremolo with a 12x33mm sustain brass block. Now, like anyone that is doing their due diligence, I have some disclosures to make. Number one, this is the second time that I've shot this video. There's a reason for that. Originally, when I received this guitar, I thought it'd be a good idea for some reason. I thought it'd be a good idea to set it up in drop G sharp. We're gonna set up this Solar guitar here, and you know, there's a couple things that I really wanted to mention while I do this. It's set up fine. It's set up pretty standard in my experience. What I mean by that is there's like a little bit of relief in the neck, and I don't like that. I like my neck being as flat and straight as humanly possible, so I am going to have to adjust the truss rod on this. And the other thing I was considering is, you know, it came to me, obviously, like every guitar pretty much that you're gonna buy, set up in E standard. I normally play in C standard, but I thought, I have a lot of guitars in C standard already. I have my Warrior set up in drop A flat. I thought maybe I would set this up as sort of like a backup of that guitar, because, you know, they're both black, badass X-shaped guitars, so kind of makes sense to have this one set up the same way. Now, a lot of you guys ask when I show these time lapses how I go about setting up guitars and stuff like that. I'm going to give a very condensed Cliff Notes version of that, but if you want to see all of the content, you want to see me go through everything on how I set up this guitar, I will leave that over on my Patreon. But I think there's nothing else to do here besides start setting it up. Which is a tuning I'm not super familiar with. I used to play in it back in the day when I was playing with American Me. Shout out to the American Me guys. Love you dudes. But, you know, I haven't played in it in a long time. Turned out that was not the greatest idea because, you know, it was too many variables. It's a guitar I've never played before, in a tuning I haven't played in a long time, with new string gauges that I had never played. And while it worked out, it was just too many weird things. So I set this up in C standard for this video. And man, I'm so glad I did, because now that I have it set up in a way that I'm more familiar with, I can tell you just, it rips, dude. It fucking shreds. The second thing that I want to tell you is that I did not pay for this guitar. Solar sent it to me. I did pay taxes and duties, if that means anything to you. But, you know, I paid the duties on the guitar, but I did not buy the guitar. They sent it to me. I don't think it's mine. Keep that in mind while you're watching the video. So I have a couple different Solars. I have a V1.6 that has like the same carbon matte finish that I bought back in like 2019 or something like that. Now, the first time Solar ever sent me a guitar was that green 𝐒𝐏𝐄𝐈𝐀𝐋 that I made a video on a while back. Very cool guitar, but I found out very quickly that I am not a fan of the Evertune system, and it's just because I've been using a Floyd Rose forever, so the feel is something that I'm very accustomed to, so an Evertune was like almost the exact opposite of that. Very cool guitar though. Evertunes are really awesome in the studio because you can really hammer on them and the pitch doesn't sway that much. Yeah, so basically the Evertune and the Floyd Rose are like arch nemesises, nemesi, whatever. And then the S by Solar E, if you count that guitar, but I'm not going to for this video, so this would be technically the third Solar guitar I've ever tried. It plays exactly like the other Vs. The neck shape is, I mean, exactly the same from what I could tell. I love the way it feels, I love the way it plays. There are some things that are different, that are like way outside my wheelhouse with this guitar. We will get into that here in a second. But before I go on praising this guitar, I do want to get a few small things out of the way. The number one is the volume placement. Like in the intro song, I turned down the volume on accident, because it's just right there. Like if all this stuff was just shifted down a little bit, you know, I would have liked that a little bit more. I am happy though that the pickup selector is here and not up here on the horn. I'm not a big fan of when it's up here on the horn. I like it down here more. The second thing that is questionable, or at least that other people have mentioned, it doesn't really bother me so much, is the jack placement. I think the jack placement's fine. The jack placement on the V is in the back, like this, and when you play it, it hits you in the balls. And so they've obviously corrected that here with the jack being like this. You know, if you had a right angle cable, it would just go right down here with the horn. I don't have a right angle cable in this place. If you're playing classical position, I could see why some people might think that's annoying, you know, poking you right there, but you know, I'm not, I'm playing like this. The last thing is something that I didn't notice really with any of my Solar guitars until this guitar, so, you know, take that for what it's worth because I don't think it's really that big of an issue. I just think it's interesting. So I'm assuming the heel right here on this neck joint only exists for this button, for the strap button here. Now, what's interesting about that, my other Kellys are like this too from Jackson. However, my Warrior is not. Since it has the other horn here, the strap button is up on the horn. And then this is actually contoured all the way in towards the body. Kind of like Solar's A-series guitars are. So it's something that I did notice going back and forth for my Warrior. I would prefer the totally contoured neck, but it's fine. It doesn't really, you know, get in the way when you're... They're really petty complaints if I'm being honest with you. Everything else about this guitar is badass, dude. I love it. It fucking rips. Now the Fishman Fluence Moderns. I've had these on a 7-string before and I didn't really vibe with them on that guitar, but I am vibing with them on this guitar. So maybe I just didn't give them a fair shot. That could be the case, you know. What can you, I'm almost 40. I have a lot of biases. The Fishman Fluence Modern, let's go to a clean channel and then I can just show you the versatility is with these pickups. So I'm gonna turn that boost pedal off there. It's not the craziest, most chimey clean tone in the world, but just humor me. Okay, so there's the bridge. Position 2. Position 3. Position 4. Now we also have this coil tap here, which puts us into the other voicing for the Fishman Fluence Moderns, and then we can go back through all 5 of the positions again. So you have like 10 total tone variations, which I think is kind of insane. But let's go back through them. So working our way down, so this is the neck. Position 4. Position 3. Position 2. and position 1. Positions 2 and 4 with the coil tap on in particular, I think are really great and show kind of like the versatility of this pickup set in this configuration, because spanky. Now, me being who I am, just like a fucking degenerate metalhead, I'm just gonna stick on the bridge position with the switch in most of the time, but I just think it's cool that you have all these options without having to switch guitars up or anything, you know? Let's go back to the metals. Let's go to the Ingle side this time. I have an Ingle module in on this side. Yeah, that was cool too. I want to go back to the Deliverance though. There's something that's just so satisfying about this tone. This is my first time playing with a 𝐒𝐄𝐄 locking bridge system, and I think that I would describe this as very similar to a Floyd Rose 1500, but I think this is a little bit nicer. If I'm being real with you, it's a little bit nicer than the Floyd Rose 1500. The things that I notice on this bridge that are different than the 1500, although small, but you know, if you're a floating trem player, this probably matters too. These little fine tuners feel a lot more like the ones on the Pro Series of Floyd Rose, so those are very nice. It comes with a brass block on it, so you don't have to purchase one, you know, separately. It does make a difference in the feel quite a bit. It's much more weighty, and you will notice big time if you're doing like flutters, like way easier to do flutters with a brass block than with not, but you know, don't take my word for it. That's just what I've experienced. And then beyond that, it's mostly aesthetic. The arm does twist in, if you like the twist in arm. It also has this sleeve here with an Allen wrench, so you can tighten down on the arm as well. Look, if you're a Floyd Rose player, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, and if you're not, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is annoying. But I just thought I'd mention that. All right, man, as a pointy guitar enthusiast, I'm vibing with this guitar hard. I really like it a lot. If you are into this aesthetically, I don't think you're gonna be disappointed by how it plays or how it feels. I think that like all that stuff is very on par with all the other Solar guitars I've tried, and is very on brand with pointy guitars. If any of what I said just makes sense. Shout out to Solar Guitars. Thank you guys so much for sending this thing for me to demo for everyone. And shout out to all you guys for being here. If you like this channel, make sure to hit the like button. If you really like it, consider subscribing, or you can even join these people over here on Patreon for exclusive content. And I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys. Lost another one.